Hey, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday. I'm super excited to be here with y'all this morning. Now, listen, somebody had to say it, so I figured it might as well be me. Okay, let's talk about this really quickly because this is a question that I get asked all the time, and not directly. This is how I get asked this question. Hey, I'm looking for a WFM tool, or hey, what do you think about this WFM tool? And then they proceed to name off things like ADP or NetSuite or things like that. And I'm like, wait, back up, back, back all the way up. That is not a workforce management tool. And so I want to, because I have a varied audience, right? I have a lot of operations people that I love out there, right? I came out of operations and workforce management inside of organizations. And so I have an audience of workforce management people, I have an audience of operations people, I have an audience of HR people. So I want to talk about this really quickly because the madness it has got to stop. So if you are watching me here live, type something in the comments. Let me know you're live. Put a fire chat in the comments and let me know that you are watching me here live. Okay. All right. Let me know you are tuning in with me live. All right, so let's talk about this really quick. Workforce management, WFM tools, HRIS tools, human resource information systems or track those tools, and enterprise planning tools. These ERP tools, resource planning tools, are not the same thing. These are not the same tools. Okay, so let's talk about that really quickly because there's some confusion. There's some confusion going on. Okay. Now, let's talk about, before we talk about the confusion that's going on, let's talk about why there is confusion going on. This is why you are confused, rightfully so. Okay. So if you're confused, this is a no judgment zone. And I don't want you to be ashamed that you're confused because if I didn't know no better, I would be confused too. And let me tell you why you're confused. The reason you are confused is because many times these technology companies will use keywords that you are looking for a specific function, and they will use keywords that will pop their solution up in your Google search. Right. So case in point, say, for example, you're looking for tracking, something that tracks employees, and you're looking for something that can help you schedule resources and you're typing that into Google. Well, guess what's going to pop up? If this feature, if this technology does that in any kind of way, many times that solution is going to pop up. And so you, not knowing any better, being the buyer, right, not knowing any better, are going to say, oh, okay, this is a WFM tool. It's not, sweetheart. It's not. ADP is not a WFM tool when we think about workforce management from the perspective of forecasting, scheduling, intraday tracking. Okay? It's not. So when you are confused, there's no shame in being confused. It's because you're typically searching for the function of what you're trying to do in your day-to-day job and what you're trying to get done. And so, of course, these technology companies understand marketing. They're going to use keywords and SEO, all those different things. So the technology is going to rise to the top in your search. Okay. Which is why it's super important that you understand the function of the role and not so much. It's less about the technology and it's more so about understanding the function of what it is that you're wanting to do. The function is like, for example, not understanding profit and loss statements, not understanding accounting, not understanding balance sheets, not understanding those things. The function of accounting produces profit and loss sheets. It produces balance sheets. It produces cash flow statements. And so if you don't understand that function of accounting and what it produces and why it's there, you might be looking for QuickBooks, but you may end up with something completely different. So let's talk about these HRS tools. Okay, so if you are generally HRIS tools are generally going to be used for compliance, are generally going to be used for tracking, payroll, those types of things. Okay. And so you have some HRS tools, human resource tools, that are going to be, it's for also storing information around the employee, compliance things, all performance, right? You can find those in HRS tools. So again, when you are Googling and you're searching for employee performance, you're tracking tools, or you're searching for employee scheduling, those types of tools, and you pop up with an ADP, that makes sense. But if you were meaning agent scheduling and you were meaning in the realm of scheduling your agents so that they can be able to see when their breaks and lunches and those types of things, no, that's not what you're looking for. Okay. And so the reason you are confused is because, again, many times the technology companies, they understand marketing. And so they understand the keywords that you're going to be typing in, you're going to be searching for. And this is why these tools pop up to the top. Okay. So ERP tools, these enterprise resource planning tools, are about tracking work, tracking a business process, and helping to automate many times business processes. Okay, so that is the purpose of your enterprise resource planning tools, is to be able to automate, track business processes. And so the question then yields itself to, well, what is the business process? Okay, because then you can get a wide array of various ERP tools. You can get a wide array of HRIS tools. You can get a wide array of workforce management tools. And so what I want to share with you this morning is make sure that you understand, because we have a lot of times, I'm not going to call any companies out, but we've had customers before. And if this is you and you're not ashamed, right, and you've learned, if this is you, just type this in the chat, right? Type preach in the chat. If this is you, you were on a journey to find a WFM tool and you got something that was not a WFM tool. Okay. If that has ever happened to you, type it in the chat. Let me know. Right. The reason I think that this is so important that we talk about, because as technology continues to advance and we get more AI and the technologies grow in the scope of what they can do, it gets even more confusion, right? It gets even more confusing on what exactly you're looking at. And so it's really important that you understand exactly what you're looking at. You understand the business function. So let me break down for you really quickly the business function of workforce management. Workforce management has 4 core components. And if your workforce management tool is not doing this, you likely are not getting a workforce management tool. Okay. So let's talk about this really quickly. Raw data gathering is one core function of workforce management. It has 4, I like to call it the core 4. It's data gathering, forecasting, scheduling, and intraday or real-time monitoring. Okay. Those are your core 4 when we think about workforce management. The core 4 functions of workforce management teams. I'm not talking about tools. Okay. And this is the big problem. Okay. A lot of times we use the word workforce management and we're talking practitioners. Okay. Practitioners are talking about the team and the function. However, the industry is talking about a solution, a piece of technology. And so it's really important that you understand what your workforce management team is doing for you. They are gathering all this raw data so that they can forecast, so that they can schedule, so that they can then monitor how the business is performing from a real-time perspective. Okay. So this is the core 4 of workforce management. So when you are looking for these things and you're typing these things in, if you pull up a HRIS tool, that is a tongue twister, or you pull up a ERP tool and you start to really dig into, can I gather my raw data? Can I forecast with this tool? Can I schedule with this tool? Can I do real-time performance with this tool? If you can't do that, you are not looking at a WFM tool. You may be looking at a scheduling tool. You may be looking at a tracking tool. You may be looking at an HRIS tool. You may be looking at a ERP tool. But what you're not looking at, what you're not looking at is a holistic workforce management tool. Okay? Now, again, every workforce management tool has this very unique, sometimes it has this, nice bells and whistles, but a car is a car. Stevie wanted to say a chair is still a chair, even if there's no one sitting. Okay, anyway, y'all know. I'll go out. Anyway, but, so a chair is a chair, even if there's no one sitting there. Okay. So sorry, my life is song lyrics. Okay. So a car is a car. A car has an engine. It has 4 wheels in most cases. All right. Unless we're talking about a solar car. Right. But we have, these cars that it has basic components. So when you're shopping for a workforce management tool and they're like, oh yeah, it has an engine. You should be like, so does that mean it don't have wheels? Right? Because a car has an engine and it has wheels, right? That's not an upgrade to get an engine when I go to the car lot to look for a car. So that is the equivalent of you talking to someone, a salesperson for work, you're in the market for a workforce management solution, and them being like, oh yeah, it has we can forecast. Well, what? That's what workforce management tools do. They forecast. So if the tool is not forecasting, the tool isn't tooling. It's not workforce managing. Okay. And so the reason I'm telling you this is because I've had a number of clients, right? I've seen this numerous times where they thought they were getting a holistic workforce management tool, and what they got was a scheduling tool. What they got was a tracking tool. What they got was a RTA tool. Okay. So it's so important. Or sometimes what they got was an HRIS tool. They got something that was completely different, because again, when you're searching and you're Googling these things, marketers understand keyword, long tail keyword searches. And so they understand what you're going to be typing in, not understanding the function, which is why I love my girl Arena. If you don't know her, go check her out. She talked about, she was talking about one of the problems with workforce management or operations teams is that we reduce the role to a WFM admin. Baby, you're going to need more than an admin. Okay, sweetheart, you're going to need more than an admin if you are looking to have a holistic, whole workforce management team. And if you're looking to have a holistic workforce management solution, you're going to need more than some scheduling. Okay. So again, the core components of workforce management, not a solution, but the team or the function, the core components are gathering raw data, data analysis, forecasting, scheduling, and intraday. So that would make sense that if you are looking for a workforce management solution, right, it should have at least, right? Yes, I'm animated. Okay. It should have at least those core 4 components. And if it does not, that's okay, right? If that's not what you're looking for, right? If you're just looking for this piece, you're looking for a plug-in of something, then understand that going in. But do not make the fatal mistake, the critical mistake, the costly mistake of thinking that you're getting a workforce management tool when really you're getting an ERP tool, or you're really getting an HRIS tool. Okay, understand the core 4 of workforce management. And then on top of that, understand how what the nuances of each of those individual. Well, what do you mean when you say get raw data? Well, can it take the data feeds from the various channels that your organization deals with? Like if you're a digital first organization, And your volume, when I say channels, if your volume comes in from web interactions, or it comes in from chat, or it comes in from all of these, can your WFM tool ingest that data? Because otherwise, how you gathering raw data? See, we be using these words, but we don't be knowing what we're really saying, right? So if we're gathering raw data, how are you going to work with that raw data if your workforce management tool can't pull that data in? I'll wait. Unless you're going to always be constantly doing manual uploads. And can it even upload? Does it give you the option to upload the data manually? Okay. All right. And so again, all of those core four, raw data, forecasting, scheduling, and intraday, have intricacies of each of those. Forecasting. Well, what kind of forecasting are you going to be doing? You doing long range, short range, capacity planning? What kind of planning are you doing? What kind of forecasting are you doing? Scheduling. Well, what types of schedules are you doing? Does it have gig scheduling capacity? Are you doing shift bids? Like we could go down the list, which is why brings me to my final point before I let you good people go on today, which is why it's so critical and so important that when you are searching for a workforce management tool, you're not searching for a workforce management tool from the brochures. Okay? You're not searching. I know I'm gonna get in trouble. Let me go ahead and get off here because see, y'all trying to get me in trouble. You're not searching for workforce management tools from the latest paid report. Let me sip my tea. This is actually water. Got to drink my water. Mind my business. Okay. You're not searching for these workforce management tools from the latest reports. That's great that they were named in the top quadrant for Gartner, but what they got to do with your business and your organization and what you got going on? And so then we be confused when we get something that is not what we thought we were getting. So it behooves you. My grandmother used to say that. It behooves you, okay, to work with someone, okay, work with an organization that understands what it is that you're wanting to do so that you don't get bamboozled in the buying process. And of course, Solid Rock can help you with that, okay? It also behooves you, right? One of the things that we see as a critical, and I'm gonna let y'all go because I've been on here too long. One of the things that I see as a critical mistake is when organizations are buying tools and they haven't talked to all of their stakeholders. Don't do that, okay? Don't be out here buying technology that's going to impact the entire organization and you have not assembled a buying committee that is representation, a representation of the whole organization that the solution is going to impact. How you buy a workforce management team and don't invite the workforce management people who are going to use the team to be on the buying committee? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. But then you confused when you got a workforce management tool that's not a work. Well, if you would have brought Johnny from the workforce director over to the buying committee, he would have been able to say, well, we can't, this can't forecast. He would have been able to ask those right questions. But you know what happens is you don't really have a full workforce management team, or your workforce management team is new. And so they don't have all of the experience that they need to accurately inform you, or adequately rather inform you of what they're looking at. And so you're setting your teams up for failure. Don't do that. That impacts employee experience. But now you're putting demands on them Sorry, I get passionate. Okay. You're putting demands on them. You're placing demands on them to make service level. You're placing demands on them to give you great schedules and forecast the demand and all these different things. And they working with the ERP tool or a HRIS tool, something that does not even have the capacity to do what it is that you're placing demands on them to. Don't do that. For all the workforce management people out there, and if you're watching this back on replay, for all the workforce management people out there that has ever been put in this position, I'm sorry. Okay? I'm sorry. I'm trying to do everything in my power to help y'all, okay? I'm trying. Okay? So, I hope that this video was helpful. Okay, I am super passionate about these things. It's why we created Solid Rock in the first place. It was to help from a workforce management support perspective, give organizations the workforce management support that they need in the realm of consulting, training, all of the different things, right? Also help from a professional services perspective. We saw that organizations, they weren't able to, once they bought the tool, they weren't able to really implement it and adopt it into their environment. So we help from a professional services perspective. And then last but certainly not least is what I'm talking about today, solution procurement. There's so much confusion out there around ERP, HRIS, and workforce management and workforce optimization and workforce engagement tools that a lot of times organizations think that they're getting one thing and they're getting something completely different. And we want to make sure that that's not the case. Okay. So if that is you, okay, you know that you have a need around these areas, don't go this alone. Stop Googling and taking precious hours out of your day to try and find the answer when we the answer. That's my plug. All right. All right. Until next time, y'all go be great. Visit us at WFM People, thewfmpeople.com. Sign up for our newsletters. Never miss one of our rants. And we try to make sure that our content is educational. So I hope that you learned something in this rant this morning. And again, if you know you have a solution buying need and you're like, I want to just have a triple double I, on triple double. What is that? Like 6, I don't know, like 5. Oh, I want to have multiple perspectives and eyes on this. Give us a call. Okay. All right. We're the people that brands call when they want to excel in customer experience, employee experience without sacrificing, okay, on that employee experience. Okay. So until next time, go be great and let's make impact. See y'all soon. Bye.